So, what we're going to do this time is I'm going to ask each of you to recall what you remember from last session and what you were doing, how your character was feeling, just anything, just kind of your guys' perspective on last week.
Don't everybody jump at once.
The dice were trying to kill us.
Aelin was very, very nervous, very, very cautious about everything. But then at being in the situation he's in, stealth, with somebody who even though we've traveled together, he's still a relative unknown. And we're in a room filled with basically enemy officers. He's not comfortable at all.
All right, good. Bazak, you go.
So I kind of spaced out about what the question was.
What was Pakaz doing last week, where we left off? What was he feeling, thinking about? Just generally your perspective on what happened last week.
He was trying to sabotage the engine. I say engines. He was trying to sabotage the reactors, and found out that it wouldn't quite work the way he was hoping it would. And we left off with him trying to, unsuccessfully, as of yet, undo the safeguards. As far as how he feels about it, he just wants to get it done.
All right, very straightforward. Kyler, you're up.
Let's see. Well, we were trying to find the computer console so that Takaya could post your message to the admiral luring him back to his quarters. Slightly frustrated about how many times they were almost stopped, and impatient.
Yep, I'd say impatient is a good word for Ajax. And Kalani.
Trying to keep everyone from getting us caught. And Sith Lady is scary.
That she is. All right, cool.
And really hoping to find a way to rescue my master. Don't know how, but really want to find a way to find her.
Yes, this is true.
But yes, the Sith Lady is scary. And boy, were we close to being really in big trouble.
All right, so with all that in mind, we're gonna pick up here with Ajak, Shia, Lu, Kalani, and Takaya.
Scary Sith Lady.
Yes. So you guys are creeping your way through the hallway, attempting to find some sort of console or device that Takaya can use to then communicate with the admiral and convince him to escape to his room. So, since Shiloh's not here, I'll take over for him. So he is currently looking over the hallway. He's up against the wall, keeping an eye on all of you, but right now he doesn't seem to be saying much. So, Ajak and Kalani, what is it you want to do?
Ajax's gonna pull up at the schematics on his from a map to see if he can figure out a likely place that there'd be a computer terminal that could access.
Okay. As you look over the schematic, you can see very plainly that there is a large. Sorry, I changed my phone. Now the sand people are calling.
I was gonna say, when did the Sand People make it to an Imperial ship? But okay.
They're infiltrating too. It's a party. Okay, yeah. So you're looking up over the schematics. There is a open corridor just ahead of you, which leads to a kind of computer room. It's sort of an analytic room for the ship. It's got several consoles that could be used for internal communication.
And I guess I'll direct the group in that direction and start heading that way. Checking for people we have to sneak past.
Okay. I still have your stealth rolls from last week, so you don't need to roll again for now.
Okay, good. Oh, speaking of which, do I still have my bonus?
Yes.
Yay.
So just a reminder, Ayland, your stealth roll was 27. Ajak, yours was 25. Kalani, yours was 16. Pakaz, you got a natural 20. And Shialu has a 17. Okay. So since you two are the only ones here, why don't you two move up first? Okay. Ajak, as you turn the corner, you immediately see the computer room, as well as the backs of three unarmored, well-dressed figures moving in and about. They don't seem to pay attention or see you at the moment or anything, but they just seem to be milling around the room. Some of them have devices in their hands. One of them is at the computer, tapping away at something.
Yeah, Ajax will kind of motion to go back. We'll kind of like move backwards into the hallway so they can discuss the strategy. Now that they know what it looks like.
Alright, so Dakai's got the one with access to the computer chart. But how are we gonna get her close? Probably go better if she's stuck alone. But if they started to notice something, we should be here to know it. Strap.
Is it just
Any
me, or
thoughts?
is he breaking up more than usual?
I'm kind of trying to be quiet because my roommates are doing stuff in the other room. Sorry. I'm also using a different headset.
Might be better
You
to
hear me?
just not do the voice modulating thing until you
Alright,
can talk
yeah,
about it or something.
yeah, how are you good? Are you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better.
So Takai's the one who's got to use the terminal. So I was thinking maybe have her go over there alone, and we can monitor the situation. And if it looks like they're paying too much attention to what's happening on the screen, we can cause some sort of noise that might distract them for a while. Let's stay over here. Any thoughts?
That seems risky.
As opposed to what?
I don't know.
What do you think, Takai? Do you think you can get around them?
She maneuvers over to the wall, pokes her head out, and comes back. Of course, you don't know this because you can't see her, but you can hear her shuffling. Perhaps we have to be very careful, though. The trick I did last time it worked on those soldiers, but these are officers. They're not going to be as easily fooled.
We'll be ready to back you up in case things go south. But short of, instead of doing this just storming the bridge, I don't have any other ideas. And that seems more ill-advised than this.
Indeed.
Very well. I shall leave on your signal.
All right, I think let's get ready. I'll stand at the corner, make some noise if they're seem to be paying too much attention to the computer screens. And if they spot you, we'll deal with them then.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
20.
yeah. You at first you hear gentle footsteps nearby you, but then uh, seconds later, as she moves away, the footsteps are not even heard any longer. Um, you see the officers start milling about and maneuvering. One of them actually does leave the console, and uh, it's hard to tell. You have difficulty anyway seeing the shimmer of each other, but at a certain point, you see the shimmer of what you think is Takaya, and then it just disappears, and you have no idea um, where she is. Yeah, Kalani, even with your skilled eyes, she disappears from view.
I had to try.
Wait, don't you get like advantage on perception for that or something because of the nat 20 you got?
No,
No.
she gets advantage um, in using the stealth field generator.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You sit there for a couple of minutes, keeping your eye on things. You see the officers continue to maneuver, continue to walk around. Then eventually, two of them start approaching the computer, and they start uh, pressing buttons and looking things over. And for a moment, you're worried that something the guy is being prevented or that she hasn't done what she had to. But before your worries can take hold of you, you see once again slight shimmer in front of your eyes, and um, Dakaya's voice comes in. It is done.
Great, then let's get to the Admiral's quarters.
Map was going all crazy for me. All right. All right. So you look over your map, and um, it shows that the corridor up ahead will eventually get to the Admiral's quarters. So you and your party begin heading off that direction. Alright. Aelin, you and the gambler have been waiting here for a little bit of time, probably a good 3 or 4 minutes since he's been finished with his task. You haven't really, each of you has kind of found a place and sat there for a little bit, but eventually you feel a light brush against your shoulder, and you look over and you see the similar shimmer, and you hear a familiar voice. Well, we haven't heard from him in a while. We've done our part. All we can do now is wait.
Aelin nods like the gambler can see, yeah, and just goes, aye.
I hope your friends pull through. I don't like sitting here out in the open.
Aelin kind of smirks and kind of nods, aye.
What do you think of the haircut one over there?
It's a little different. Could probably use less hair gel today.
No argument here, but I meant more in terms of, is he going to be a problem?
That's why I took up position here, to intercept just in case. I figure if he becomes a problem, I can easily render him at least not a problem.
Good man. Keep your eye on him. And watch out for the other two.
Alright, be careful yourself. No telling when Sweetheart over there is gonna wake up.
There's a tone to his voice which makes you assume he's smirking as he said, "Indeed." He then taps you on the shoulder and starts moving back to his position. Yeah, I know. Give me a sec. Some things Roll20 does not do fast. All right, you guys can see all that? Okay.
I can't see anything. Yep, that's what I see.
Black box.
What about the bottom? Oh man, alright.
Yep. Is it on the right layer?
Revealed the map. That not working?
No, it's not working. It's just trying to be frustrating. Alright, you guys still can't see anything?
Nope.
Oh, no, there's something.
Yes,
There
an
we
elevator.
go. Okay. It's got two
Ah.
different light settings, and I clicked both of them, and I didn't know that, and I went back through and unclicked it. It's really goofy.
Yeah, dynamic light settings with no
Oh.
light sources in the map.
That could be interesting.
Well, no, that's what we were all seeing. So,
Yeah, it's goofy. I still haven't figured out how it works.
well, you have to mark what light levels there are and how far and who is emitting what light.
Yeah. Who's got time for that? All right. You have the four of you have gone through a couple of hallways. Probably traveled for about 5 minutes trying to get here, weaving in and out of people. You came into a hallway which was more heavily guarded, but with your stealth rolls, you managed to get everyone through, even Shialu, as he made a few fumbles along the way, but you guys generally managed to keep it together until you finally are now inside a mini hallway, which leads to the Admiral's room. And at this point, Takaya has stopped you all, and she says, "Behind this door is the Admiral. Whatever we do, it must be quickly. He has panic buttons, people here that would come at his beck and call in an instant. Tell me what you want to do, and I shall help. But be warned, he will not react well to us, and his people are going to shoot us first and not ask questions."
How many people do you think he has in there?
In the room, likely none, but like I said, he has a panic button, and he could bring people to the outside of that door within seconds. Powerful people too, not stupid guards on duty.
If we got the
Where-
drop on him while still hidden, and basically, well, if we threatened his own life, would he jeopardize his own life to try and kill us, or would he play along? As long as he thought we had the upper hand.
I don't know. I really don't know that much about him. I've only met him once before. There are, like I told you before, there are rumors about his character, but he seems rather unpredictable.
Okay, so we go in, hold my blaster up to the back of his head, tell him not to move, If he does move, you stab a blade through his heart.
You hear the sound of something unclicking from a belt.
And you hear a slight whimper.
There is also a fishy sort of grunt.
Look, if he's going to jeopardize the entire point of the mission, which is to stop the invasion, we can't really do that if we're dead, can we? Alright, before these two get cold feet, I suggest we move in. Kalani.
Where would his panic button be?
Underneath his desk.
So we need to get him away from there.
Yeah, if one of you wants to use force or whatever and move him away and hold him in the air while I tell him what's up, maybe we give that a shot. But don't do that immediately. Let us get into the room into position before you start moving them around. Shialu, I've seen you move things before. Can you do that?
You hear him kind of shift, but it will prevent his death. I'll do my best.
That it will, and then we convince him to waltz us on back out here, with him on board. While our friends cause chaos on board the ship. And that's the plan.
Just be careful when you do that. Try your best not to draw attention to your use of the Force either.
That's true. We might want to hold off on that, actually. That's a good point. Thank you, Kalani. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Moving quickly and restrain.
Mm-hmm. Let's do this.
After you, Mandalorian.
And Ajax will start moving towards the door.
Right? There is a keypad. There is numbers on the keypad for like some sort of code, but there's also a request button.
The guy, do you think he would open the door if he thought you were on board?
He agreed to meet with me.
Well, then that's our point of entry. Uncloak, walk in, distract him, maybe get him to move away from his panic button. I'll sneak up behind him, hold his head at gunpoint.
Do you want me to reveal myself?
That's completely up to you, but it might serve to get him away from the panic button. And to be caught less off guard when the door opens and there's no one there.
Okay. You hear a click and then a shoo, and Dakaya's form appears beside you. In her hand, indeed, is her lightsaber. But seeing that she's revealed, she slowly puts it back under her belt.
One last question. If I tried to destroy the console or his disk, where should I strike to stop the panic button or other alarms?
I couldn't tell you. I know it has a panic button under his desk because that's standard Sith procedure. So, just I would say, shred the desk.
And would that set off other alarms? Because it suddenly stops working in dramatic fashion?
It could. I really don't know. I'm not very much for technical things. I know broad strokes, but well, I usually cut my way through things.
Yeah, best not to destroy the console immediately. More of a secondary resort, in case they can tell it's been destroyed on some other computer terminal. All right, let's go.
Dakaya brushes herself off and straightens up her uniform, and then she walks up to the console. And she hesitates only for a moment before she presses the request button. And there's a few seconds of waiting, and then the button turns from red to green, and the door opens. Okay, here we go, guys. Sure you're ready?
Totally. It's gonna be so much fun. What could go wrong? So many things could go wrong.
Okay. Dakaya walks in slowly, and the rest of you follow. And you get, for the first time since Tara or Telos, you get a view of the Admiral. You see a very broad-shouldered, yellow-skinned, white-haired man with a stern look on his face and a scar to one side. His uniform is completely unwrinkled, untarnished. He sits straight in his seat, and as soon as Dakaya comes into view, his eyes lock onto her, and they never waver. Dakaya, however, almost seems to ignore him. She walks on the red carpet, and she looks about his room as though she's impressed by the decor. She spends some time just kind of circling. She touches one of the chairs as she passes by, and just kind of caresses the back of it before she decides to settle behind standing one of them. So, you're here to give a report? I am. But first, are you aware that there are people aboard this ship? He squints at her eye. Well, not unless you brought them with you. You see, she dips her head. You could say that, to a degree. But I came to warn you. They're from the planet you're intending to destroy. They've come to find out your plans. Indeed. And what brought on this sudden generosity of information? There's silence for a few moments. I know you are not completely unaware that when I assigned you to that planet, it was with the intention that you may not come back. She smirks. Yes, I figured that out rather quickly. But you see, you are but a small fish in this large world. I'm hoping to gain a little prestige. In the immediate area you're in?
Yeah, just like the area like by his desk and such to see if there's anything like if I walk over there, it's gonna get me.
Okay. You don't see anything in the immediate area, but Kalani looking in the same direction, you do see a small like tablet device on the desk in front of him, and you do notice that the Admiral has now put his hands on the desk, but one of his thumbs is just underneath, out of sight. Not moving, but it's just kind of hovering there. It's on his left hand.
And what is up with Dakaya?
Are you trying to scrutinize her?
Yeah. I am suddenly on very high alert because this is not quite the way I thought the plan was going.
With that roll, you're not certain. She's cold and she's completely in control. It's very eerie of when you first met her and how she first disseminated information to you. It's without emotion, and you're not certain if she's playing him or she's playing you.